gentlemen, and welcome to Skip E. Lowe Looks at Hollywood. Joining Skip today, from the Joffrey Ballet Dance Company, dancer David Palmer, the fabulous singer-pianist, the queen of the boogie, Hadda Brooks, and just in from Tokyo, the entrepreneur of Japan, Evra Myama. And now, here he is, the man of the half hour, Skip E. Lowe.
Hadda Brooks. Hadda Brooks, Hadda Brooks.
Hello.
Where have you been? Young lady, you've been out of show business. God, for a long time.
For a while, yes.
Tell me about that. What do you mean retire? Hadda Brooks, retired.
I sat down for a while.
Why? Hadda Brooks, the queen of the blues, honey. I mean, you are the lady. I mean, you know, all those wonderful films you've done with Humphrey Bogart and guess who? Lana Turner.
Lana Turner, Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas. That was a great movie. The Bad and the
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Who was beautiful?
She was
or you, darling?
No, she was.
Tell me about those days of
Well, they were
Hadda Brooks.
gorgeous. They were very nice.
That's real Hollywood, huh?
Yeah.
Tell
I
me.
had lots of fun with Humphrey, really.
Really?
And Kirk Douglas had a lot to say to me also.
Like what?
Like Make Her Beautiful, when I was in the makeup room.
Uh-huh.
And then after lunch we talked. And after lunch I talked to Humphrey Bogart.
He was a real man, wasn't he?
He has a he did have a very beautiful outlook on life.
He did?
Yeah. And he passed off quite a few things that his butler did that were humorous. Very funny.
Like what?
Like running into a wall to keep from hitting a dog
Uh-huh.
and broke up his car. And he laughed.
How's Lana Turner to work with?
Well,
You sang that song to her. You
Yeah,
sang
Temptation. Yeah, she was quiet.
Quiet?
She was quiet. Elaine Stewart and I had quite a bit of a conversation.
Lady down the staircase.
Down the staircase.
Oh,
It
what a
broke Lana's
famous-
heart.
Yeah.
And Kirk Douglas. I can't think of the others, but I mean, like, they do come to me.
Gloria Graham.
Yes.
She was.
She was in Humphrey Bogart's picture.
Yeah, she was a nice lady.
She was
wasn't
very, very nice.
Yeah.
And her ex-husband directed the picture, Nicholas Ray.
Who directed the other movie?
Vincent Minnelli.
Vincent Minnelli.
Yes.
Tell me about Vincent Minnelli. Everybody tells stories about this man.
Oh, he was wonderful, though.
Was he?
Yeah, he was great. It was very, very nice to me, even though I had disappointed him sometimes when I didn't show up. But
Was this at MGM?
it was at
It was-
MGM, yes.
I see.
Yes.
Great.
The other picture was shot at Columbia, right on the set there.
Where did Hadda Brooks come from originally?
Well, my name is Hadda.
Hadda, H-A-D-D-A.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my maiden name, of course, naturally wouldn't look right. I don't think it would in the, what do you call it, in the marquee.
What's that other name then? You don't want to say it?
Good.
Hopgood?
Right.
Hey,
The only
that's-
one in the book for you.
I like it. It's like Skip E. Lowe. Hopgood.
The only one in the book for years. Hopgood, Hopgod.
Where did Hadda come from originally? I mean,
Oh,
at
it
the
comes from
piano.
Harriet or Hattie.
But Hadda, where were you really come? You're from Los Angeles?
Oh,
or
yes,
was-
I was born here.
You're born and
In
raised.
Boyle Heights.
Now, when was Hadda Brooks first discovered? I mean, at the piano. Where?
Oh, in
clubs.
in the clubs.
In the clubs.
I really started off with records first.
Records. Ah.
Records first before I ever made an appearance anywhere.
Really? What company were you with?
Modern
Capitol?
Records. Modern of Hollywood.
Uh-huh. So that's where you come from, records then.
That's where I
Right,
started.
recording.
Yes, uh-huh.
You and Frances Faye. Did you know Frances Faye?
Yes,
Who
I
played
did.
the piano like you? But,
Yes.
but you were a blues singer, and she was a naughty singer. But she was wonderful, Frances Faye.
I liked her.
Yeah,
I liked her very much.
I adore Frances Faye. Tell me, why do they call you the Lady Swings and all that? I had, in the blues, what is this, Hadda? This is your new album?
That's quite new, yes.
Is it?
Mhm. It's the last one that I did, Skip.
Ah, but you are at Arenas right
That's
now.
where I am.
Arenas in Los Angeles, a
And
wonderful
Right.
food
Beautiful.
restaurant. It is, and you're playing piano and singing there?
Yes, I'm in the Oak Room.
You're really you're pepping Perinos up, I'll
I
bet.
think I am.
God. I mean, I can
think I
imagine you
am.
playing that piano at Perinos. They're very quiet there with that.
Well, I mean, the audience is quiet, but they're very appreciative. I
Are they?
love them. Yes, they are.
What time do you start at night then?
At 8 o'clock.
And you play up.
I play till around about 12 or 12:30.
Good. What have you been doing? Why did You retired.
Well, truthful, I got tired.
Tired?
Yes.
You don't look tired, Hadda.
No, I don't mean in looks.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
mean in public service.
You wanted to get away from
I
show
want to get
business.
away from the public.
I see.
I'm sorry to say that, but that's
You
true.
worked all over the world.
I have been, yes.
And you were in Australia. There's a young man next to you who is
Yes,
the
he is.
Joffrey Ballet dancer.
Yes.
One of the principal dancers at the Joffrey, and his name is David Palmer. How are you, David?
I'm very well, thanks.
You're from Sydney?
Well, that's where my family has lived for about the last 12 years or so. Originally, I'm from what where I was born, like to call the true Australia, which is in the far north Queensland, which is right up the top, not far from the equator. You know, that's where I was born. A place called
Queensland
Cairns.
is a summer resort, isn't it?
Well,
Summer resort?
Queensland is kind of a similar state to the USA's Florida.
Florida, yeah, of course.
There's similar situations. There's no death tax and all that sort of thing.
Yes.
So it's a place. It's a haven for people to go and retire.
Yes,
And I mean, where I was born, you know, the winter temperature would drop way down to maybe a low of 75 or 80 degrees, and then in summer it climbs way up to maybe 85. So
David, tell me.
you know, it's great.
I mean, the Joffrey Ballet, Australia, danced in Australia. What company were you in Australia?
I was with the Australian Ballet in
Ballet,
Australia,
uh-huh.
and also I danced with Graham Murphy's Sydney Dance Company for
I
a
see.
while.
I understand you're married and you have your wife's a dancer?
Yes, my wife's
She-
a dancer also with the Joffrey.
The Joffrey. How long you been with the Joffrey?
I've been with the Joffrey for nearly 4 years now.
It's an exciting company, isn't it?
It is a very exciting
Why is it so
company.
exciting, David? Tell me.
I think it's an exciting company because it's a company that is really devoted to performing. It's hard for me to really explain how I come about saying that, but I think a lot of companies in the world, they're dance companies, and the prime thing is dance, whereas I feel Mr. Joffrey has always wanted a company of performers.
Is he
So you-
difficult?
No, he's not a difficult man to work for, really. And I think a lot of that is because he likes to surround himself with people who are looking for the same ideals he's looking for. And so if you're working with someone who has the same interest at heart as
Yes.
you do,
Yes.
it doesn't become a difficult thing. It becomes, you know, really very easy. And you know that if they're shouting at you or yelling at you,
Yes.
it's for the same reason that that you're pursuing.
Yeah, I see. Hadda, you've worked Australia, Sydney and Melbourne and all
Yes.
those wonderful places. That accent, isn't that a great accent?
I love it.
You
I
do?
love it. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Tell me about Australia, your days in Australia. What years were you there? You were in the 60s or?
60s, yes. I was,
They must have loved you there.
they really did prove that they did. I mean, the audience were beautiful.
They are great audiences.
They were
I did the RSL clubs there. I worked.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a comic, and I
They
used to
were
work
good.
the RSL clubs there, and it was wonderful. I really love. I took a bus from Perth to Sydney,
No?
all across that country. It's like from San Francisco to. Pardon me?
Did you ever do Wagga Wagga RSL?
No. Yes, I did. Yes, I
did?
did. Of course I did.
I've
Of
done
course.
that, too.
Yes, I loved it. You did RSL clubs too?
Well,
Ballet
my-
dancing?
No, not ballet dancing. My first professional job ever was a black and white minstrel show.
A black and white
When I
minstrel.
was 16,
Uh-huh.
and we toured Australia singing
Wonderful.
Every Little Breeze, he used to
Uh-huh.
whisper Louise, and, and all those, you know, those old songs.
Swanee and all those
Swanee,
great,
the,
yeah.
the whole thing.
So you're a singer too?
No, but I can occasionally hold a tune. Amidst a lot of other people.
You're
I
sitting
can
next
be
to a lady who had a television show here, one of the first black ladies who had a television show. She was the first ever.
In Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles. It was called
The Hattersburg.
The Hadda Brooks Show. Tell me about the format of the show, Hadda. What was it?
Well, it was a format that they...
Like Liberace or what?
No, they came through the rising of the top of the piano, grand piano.
Yes.
And my ceramic,
I'm going to show one. Go ahead.
yeah, my ceramic ashtray was on the piano, and the curl of the smoke was going up. And I started off with the theme song, which was a big hit for me, like That's My Desire.
Oh, I love that.
And then I would invite you into my living room, or thank you for inviting me into your living room.
What year was that in, Hadda? I can't
I think it was
remember.
52.
52. That's right. I do remember those days.
Yes, 52.
Yeah.
It was on a Sunday.
It was on a Sunday night. Great time. This is tell me about your nightclubs. And oh, look at this picture. I got to show this. Look at this lady sitting there with her legs crossed. I mean, Hadda, what year was this in, darling?
Well, that's the same year.
I think that's a great
That's the
picture.
same year.
Is this Burt Lancaster here?
No, that's my
Who's that?
director. His name is Goetz.
Good God, does he look
That's
like
one of my
Burt
directors.
Lancaster?
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't he? And who's this down here, Hadda?
Well, I think that's one of my cameramen.
Is it?
And I had 2 cameras.
Uh-huh.
And then I had 2 directors.
So this show was from Hollywood?
Oh, yes.
It was direct from Hollywood?
Yes.
I see. You enjoyed doing that, huh? How long did the
Oh,
show last?
I think I
Several
had a
years?
season,
Uh-huh.
a little over 26 weeks.
Do you enjoy working nightclubs, Hadda?
There are some, being truthful.
There
There
are
are
some.
some.
You're saying that to me, looking at me and saying, hey, honey, I don't really like it. But am I right? Come on, Hadda. You're saying that to me right now. I feel it.
I'm saying that I don't really like it.
Yeah, you don't like nightclubs. You rather do the records or TV or something.
I'd rather do TV and I'd rather do shows.
Shows. Okay.
Yes.
Have you done
Like a show when I was with Charlie Barnett and I traveled around the theater circuit with him.
So you do like the theater?
I did.
Yeah. How about clubs? Do you like clubs?
I do
David?
like clubs.
You do?
I think clubs are a necessary part of today's life, really. I think all entertainment is wonderful. And, you know, clubs are just one of those places where you really can go and
I have a woman from Japan right now. She is one of Tokyo's, she just flew in, matter of fact. She's one of Tokyo's great entrepreneur. That's the only thing I can say. She's an entrepreneur, and her name is
Eva, Myama.
Eva for Myama.
Myama.
Konbawa.
Konbawa. Arigato.
Yeah, you speak Japanese? Tokyo? You speak, no? Very nice. This is Hadda Brooks and David Palmer. This is Eva.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you for coming all the way from Tokyo.
Well, this is honor to come over here. Thank you very much.
I understand that you come to America and you bring great talent like David, say, for
Right.
instance. You look for a diamond in a rough, then you shine it up and polish it. Is that what you say, a rough diamond in a rough? And bring it back to Tokyo.
Right.
What do you mean by...
Well, actually, I'm running a modeling agency, fashion modeling agency in Tokyo. So I brush up, diamond, then try to send back to Japan.
It's a model agency.
Yes, modeling agency.
But there's more than just that. You do, I understand you have tango, something about tango in Argentina she's bringing to Japan. What's that all about?
Well, tango is getting very popular all over the world.
She's introducing it to Japan.
So I try to bring a tango master to Tokyo, Japan,
Yes.
introducing authentic tango from Argentina. Yes.
That's interesting. And you come back, you fly, and you're always on the plane, I understand.
Yes.
Lady spends more time on the plane, I tell you. And you're leaving for again back now in a couple of days?
Another 4 days.
Now, what made you be an entrepreneur like this? I mean, I understand you know all the cream of the crop in Japan.
Well-
The prince and all these wonderful high people in Japan. Your friends. But why are you...
Prince Mikasa
Yes.
is a dancing friends, ice dancing and the ballroom dance friends. And the number 1 is a modeling agency, second is ice dancing, and the ballroom dancing, and tango argentino dancing. And I'm a fashion writer,
You're a fashion writer, and also you write,
designing my costume like this.
and you also write for the Japanese paper here in LA.
Yes, right.
It's the little Tokyo
Yes.
in fashion. And you do fashion clothes, huh? You do all your own beading?
Yes, I did, and this bell too.
It's very pretty.
Yes.
I understand you're friends with that wonderful designer here in town. His name is Pasquale.
Oh yeah, he's a very charming person.
Does Pasquale do any of your designing work, or you?
Oh, this one is my original.
Your original?
My design.
You're a dancer. You're ice skater.
Ice dancer.
She's an ice skater. Yes. Isn't that wonderful? You were going to come in your Oriental outfit today for me, but that's all
I
right.
brought the kimono,
You did?
but
We don't need it.
takes time to wait, So I just arrived at 11 o'clock, so...
Have you ever seen Hadda Brooks' work? She
Yes.
You have seen her perform?
Yeah, quite a long time ago.
Yes?
But recently I didn't have time to watch TV at all, because back and forth, 12 to 15 times a year between Los Angeles and Tokyo. So I'm quite busy.
Why do like people like Troy Donahue does commercials for you? Now Troy goes to Japan.
Yes.
He just got back from Japan. Matter of fact, he has 2 girlfriends, I understand, there. Lovely little girls. And I understand, why do all the big stars like Troy Donahue go to Japan and they do the Japanese beers and all the... why?
Because
Why don't you use your own people? Why?
well, problem is we product so many merchandise.
Wait.
So they want to introduce the international market. So they need international image, not only domestic in Japan. So we need international people.
I see.
Well, actually, Japan is very top leading country of producing, because we love to get everything together
Yes.
in Japan. We love to all kind of people from all over the world.
Yes, yes.
We are very friendly people.
Yes, you are. I worked Tachikawa.
Oh,
I did the
yes.
American military there with the Everly Brothers. I was the MC there. And it was fun, too, and I loved Tokyo.
We love foreign people so much.
Well, the French say that, too, but they're rude. I mean, did you hear about in Cannes right now? The hamburger's like $15. And orange juice is like $25 for an orange juice in Cannes. I mean, who are they trying to kid us, you know? How about Australia, the prices there? Are they reasonable in Australia right now? What's happening?
Well, economy-wise,
Yeah.
it's been a while since I've been back home, but the last time I was home, it was inflation had
A
hit
lot of Americans want to
Australia.
go there, you know.
Yeah, I think you do very well
Uh-huh.
with your American dollar in Australia.
I see. Are you happy, David? You seem very happy in this country, now working in a wonderful Joffrey Ballet is one of the best.
Yeah, the company is one of the best in the world.
What would you
I
like to
think,
do, David?
personally?
Is there anything in the future for you?
Well, my future has always been something that I've stumbled upon. I just work hard, and somewhere along the line, I realized I've reached a specific goal or something I've set, and that's when I, stand from that point and look around. And I've been lucky, I must admit, and I've always been able to see other roads and paths to travel when I've got to that point.
Hadda Brooks, I'm so happy that you're back.
Thank you, thank
God,
you.
But what's exciting right now and new in your life? I mean, Perinos, is there things coming up for you now? It must
Yes,
be.
there are a couple other things coming up. I mean, they're talking about records, and they're talking about other engagements.
Yes.
And Perinos is very delightful.
It's a wonderful restaurant.
It's a beautiful place.
Yes, it is. It's a lovely.
And not to disillusion your audience, I do love being back.
Oh, I know you do, darling. I was just looking at you
I
just
do
for a
love
second.
that.
You know, clubs are a little difficult. I
They're a little
understand.
difficult.
I understand what you're trying to tell me. It's you prefer. I know. You worked a lot of clubs, David.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've done
it becomes a little
myself
difficult
well.
with hecklers and the audiences and all that.
Oh, well, that's true,
You know,
too. No sooner the
that's-
spotlight goes on you, there you are.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's almost out
How
there.
many movies have you done? You've done a lot of movies. All at the piano? Any talking?
No talking,
You do a
all
lot
at
of
the
talking?
piano.
Not leaving that piano?
No, I didn't leave the piano. I did do some remoting with Humphrey Bogart, but it was...
Hadda Brooks,
very
would you like to do a dramatic role? How about television nowadays?
Oh, I'm not quite sure.
Let's get Alan Eichler to get you some work out there.
Oh, well, okay. He'd probably do it, too.
Because Hadda Brooks, I know you're creating a big, look what Time said. Hadda Brooks peps up Perino's image. And I love that. I
That
think
was a
that's
beautiful write-up.
That is a great write-up.
Yes.
I mean, that, and you're going to be there for how long?
For the rest of this entire month.
Really? How nice.
Yes.
David, when is the Joffrey Ballet? You'll be there for a while?
Well, we're closing out this week.
This week, that's fine.
But we'll be back in September.
In September?
We do 2 seasons a year in LA now.
Where you go from here?
From here we go to San Diego, and then we're doing a half week in Sacramento.
What numbers do you do? What are the favorite numbers, David, in the show?
My favorite piece is I really enjoy Romeo and Juliet.
It's my favorite. I saw it.
It's,
It's wonderful. It's
It
lovely.
is a wonderful ballet as far as fooling is concerned.
Who did it the night I saw it last week, David? I can't.
I'm
Pete-
trying.
Jerry?
Ashley Wheater and
I think
Leslie
so.
Carruthers?
But the guy was kind of chunky, the one I saw. She was lovely, but the guy was
or
kind
was it
of...
Philip, Jerry, and maybe
Is
it was
he
Philip
kind of
and-
chunky?
Yeah, Philip.
Yeah, I thought that was just a little too much for Romeo than your size.
Well, you know, I mean,
He's
it's-
bigger than you.
Yeah. Well, I think Romeo is always a hard thing to cast because I mean,
Why is it
any Shakespearean
Why is it
play-
hard to cast, David?
Well, you know, when you think the story is supposed to be about the oldest person in this story is Juliet's father, who's
Yes.
probably all of about 30.
Uh-huh.
But yet, you know, people are from an audience point of view, and when you think back of someone's father and all that thing, you think they're going to be much older.
Yes.
And, you know, basically of the boys, Romeo's 17,
Uh-huh.
just Juliet's 14 and all that. And it's hard to find a performer who, once you've gained the insights and you have the
Yes.
artistry behind you to perform something like that, you're not really any longer 17. You
I
know.
see.
So
How were you when you first were a ballet dancer?
I joined my first professional company at 17.
And so you started at what age? Start working out.
Well, I started
prepare.
dancing. Yeah, I started dancing when I was about 14.
14.
Jazz and
Wow.
tap.
God, that's wonderful.
Uh-huh.
It's hard work, David. Lots of work out there. But
It's hard
pays,
work.
But you
It does
enjoy
pay.
it. And you, models? How about your models? What do your models do? Tell me about that.
My
Is it a
models?
school or is it just
Well,
What?
actually, best age.
Oh, you just look for people and go.
Well, between 14 to the 22 years old.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like a Brooke Shields started at 12 years old.
Right.
But most of my models start about 15 years old.
Uh-huh.
Then we make a 3 years contract. So once in a year, they will come to Japan during 2 months.
Do you look for all kinds of
All kinds.
Who are some of the people that you have? I mean, like for, any famous
Oh
models?
yeah, like famous one is Christina Ferrare. Well, I had an audition for the carnival, but that time she was she's waiting for the movie.
Uh-huh.
So her dream didn't realize. But another one is.
You know what I like about Tokyo? I love their theater. Their theater is just big, and it's loads of people on that stage. You have a lot of people on that stage, like hundreds of people.
Right.
Really, I've seen. Do you ever been to Tokyo?
Yeah, I've been to Tokyo.
You have. Do you ever see the theater? I mean, the Japanese theater.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see any.
You didn't see.
any
You were
of the
working with the
theater.
Joffrey Ballet there, or is that?
No, it was back when I was with the Australian Ballet.
Did you work Hong Kong or any of those places in the
No,
Far East?
that particular year we were passing through Tokyo on the way to China, and we did Shanghai and Peking
I
that
see.
time. But the company was nice enough to give us 3 days off in Tokyo. Which
Did you
was-
enjoy
which is real nice.
China?
I did enjoy
How were the
China.
people there? How did they accept you?
Well, when we went to China, we came in the first week that the borders were open. So we were pretty much the first people they'd from the West they'd ever seen for a big part.
But the young Chinese people.
The young Chinese people
They're
seemed
just-
very anxious to learn.
To learn and copy and dress like
yeah,
you do and
yeah.
be you.
Uh,
That's what they like, the young kids today.
That's
Am I
right.
right?
Yes,
Even in Russia and all those wonderful places. How about, do you have worked Russia and all those places?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? They would love you in Russia.
You think so?
They would, oh yeah, Hadda. Sitting at that piano, honey.
Yeah, they do
singing.
love jazz.
They would love it,
They
yes.
love
They
it.
love
Yeah.
it, yes. They would love you, darling.
Oh,
Yeah, I think Alan Eichler should get you on right away and get you set up. Believe me.
then maybe I try it.
Are you married?
No,
Never been married, or?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you have children? or
No.
anything? No?
no children.
No children?
No.
Yeah, strict mother-in-law, or what?
No
You seem very happy.
I am.
You are.
I am.
I'm glad you're back in the bed. They wrote you up in Forever, Whatever Became Of. Why are you in this book, Whatever Become Of? I mean, you weren't, you know, this is a...
Well, for what we mentioned.
This man who wrote this book is
Lemposky.
Richard Lemposky.
Yes.
He is, he writes...
he's delightful.
Is he,
But, yes.
did he interview you? And
Yes, he came to my home and
This is-
interviewed me. I mean,
This is you, then.
That's
And
of
this is
the
you,
album,
then.
and that's me in my home, and the portrait behind me. But I guess that's when I had,
I like
I
this guy.
retired,
Yeah.
and that's where he wanted to find
He
me.
wanted to find you.
Yes.
In Los Angeles. This I love, Hadda Brooks. The Queen of the Boogie. I love that. This is
That's
wonderful.
40 years old.
40? 40? Good God, that's beautiful.
That was in 47, yes.
47, and this is beautiful. Sings and Swings. This is Crown Records.
Yeah, well, that's the same. It's a
Yeah.
subsidiary
Uh-huh.
of
How many albums have you done? You've done a lot,
I
haven't you?
think I have maybe 4 or 5 more.
Uh-huh. There's songs. What is your favorites? Some of your favorites. What are they? At the piano. Sitting at the piano, Hadda Brooks.
Sitting at the piano.
For many years.
Yes.
What's your favorite?
Happiness is a thing called Joe.
The happiness, that thing called Joe. Do you know that song?
Yes.
That's so fine. Not Set 'em Up Joe?
No. Happiness is a thing called Joe.
Why is that? Just
Because
the lyrics or what?
The lyrics, oh yes, yes. Mostly lyrics is what I like to do. But it tells a story, yes.
Uh-huh. Because people around the piano are all around you. They'd love to hear it. You
And
tell
that's
us-
who I'm talking to.
You're
That's who
talking.
I'm singing to. That's who I want to make feel whatever I do.
What do you make them feel? Tell me.
I make them feel sad. I make them feel life. I make them think. I make them love.
Do you?
Yeah, I make them smile. Sometimes I get funny and they laugh.
Great. Hadda Brooks?
Yes.
I'm looking at you.
Yes.
Looking back over your life, do you have any regrets?
I don't think so, no.
You sure?
I don't know of anything I would do different because I had no idea that I was going into this business when I came out of college.
Uh-huh.
And it has been good to me.
It has been.
It has been exceptionally well, exceptionally good. Very
Did you hear
good.
that, David? That's a young
That's
man like
right.
yourself, you know? That's wonderful, Hadda. Very proud of you. Tell me, darling.
Yes.
You're leaving for Japan right now?
Uh-huh.
And what did you come to America right now for? Looking for some special lady you got with us who you're bringing, or what? Tell us about.
This time, number one, I tried
Yeah.
to meet you here.
To meet me?
Yes.
I'm not the
number
special
one
lady,
purpose.
but I mean...
And the second was I supposed to make a contract with Orlando Paiva for Argentine tango dancing.
Yes.
Uh,
But how about bringing Miss Hadda Brooks?
Sure.
Introduce her to Japan.
Good
They
idea.
would love her in those big clubs in Tokyo, or even the small lounges, elegant lounges which you have. They would love Miss Hadda Brooks.
Yes,
That's
we
a
had
good-
another black lady singer,
Who's that?
Arthur Kidd. Arthur Kidd.
No,
That's
no.
a kid.
Oh, Eartha Kitt.
Right.
Oh, I had Eartha Kitt, of course, my dog.
So
I had
she
her on my
came
show.
to Japan quite a few times.
But Eartha Kitt's different than Hadda Brooks.
that's
Hadda
right.
Brooks, Eartha Kitt is sensible. Hadda Brooks is the queen of the
I
blues.
know, so
I mean,
yeah.
Eartha Kitt can do her thing. But Miss Hadda Brooks sits at the piano. Eartha
Wonderful.
Kitt can't do that. See, Hadda Brooks can talk to you and touch you and make you feel good and make you cry, like she says.
So I try to introduce her to Japan
It'd be
sometimes.
wonderful. Be wonderful.
Yes,
Isn't it great?
because right now we just started LaboNet. This means Ladies Business Owners Association.
Right.
We just started,
Uh-huh.
and I'm a chairman of International Culture.